This is a problem solving with linear systems. So we're going to read the problem, and usually what I do with the problem is I read it all once, and then the second time through kind of highlight or pick out what's important information, okay? So our store sells sandwiches for $5 and pencils for $1. One day the shop sells 30 items for $110. So that's like their total sales for the day. How much of each was sold? Okay, let's go through it again. Let's get our numbers that we think are important. Store sells sandwiches. Okay, so sandwiches are $5. And pencils are $1. One day the shop sells 30 items. Okay, that's total. And they make $110. So how much of each was sold? So this is important. The very last one, very last line here, well, I'm going to kind of underline it here, okay? This is what the question is. So how much of each was sold? So we have to decide how many equations here. Now, I partially gave it away by telling you what type of question this is, but if you haven't quite figured it out yet, that's fine. We're going to try to deduce this on our own. So let's try to build some stuff. We're going to say let X equal a sandwich. See sandwiches, and let Y equal pencils. Okay? So, if you recall, they sold a total of 30 items. Okay? So what that means is pencils and sandwiches put together was 30. So that's actually equation number 1. Okay, so there's equation number 1. So X, which is sandwiches, plus Y, which is pencils, is equal to 30. Great. That's one equation. Can we solve it from here? We actually can't. Anytime you have two unknown variables, you need a minimum of 2 equations. Okay? So we have to build a second equation here. If we had only one variable, pretend this wasn't here, so there's only one variable in the question, then you can solve it. So kind of a rule of thumb is for the number of variables you have, you need at least that many different equations to solve it. Right? So, second one. Second one here is the prices. We need to involve the prices for these. So we know that sandwiches are $5 and pencils were $1, and the total amount sold was $110. So we're going to add up how much money they made on each. So we know that 5 times X, that will be the price of sandwiches. Okay, so 5, because that's how much a sandwich was, times X, so 5X, plus pencils were $1, so 1Y, let's move it down a little, there we go, is equal to how much did they sell? Well, they got $110. Does that make sense how I built that second equation?
Yeah.
The idea is we take the number, so this is why I built the first one first. We're just adding a total of how many sandwiches, how many pencils, total is 30. Here we're doing the monetary value. So number of sandwiches times their price, number of pencils times their price is the total amount of money made. Okay? This is the hardest part of a question like this, is building these 2 equations. Once you've built them, you're just kind of going through the process of elimination, substitution. Some people even have formulas to solve this. Depends what you're most comfortable with. What do you commonly use to solve linear equations? Do you remember either of those methods?
Elimination.
Elimination? Okay, so we're going to do an elimination here. So I'm going to take equation 1. We're going to use elimination. And I'm going to multiply equation 1 by the number 5. Okay? I'm hoping to eliminate the x's in this question. So you'll notice I'm going to go 5x plus 5y is equal to 150. Okay? And then equation 2, I'm just going to keep it the same because it is 5x plus 1y is equal 110. So I've built a very large either addition or subtraction question depending on what we're trying to eliminate. Because I'm eliminating the x's, the coefficient is the same value. They're both positive. So that means we need to actually subtract to get rid of it, okay? So we're going to subtract. So 5 subtract 5 gives us technically 0x, okay? 5 subtract 1, that's going to give us positive 4y. And 150 minus 110 gives us 40. Now 0x is nothing, it eliminates itself. So now our equation is 4y is equal to 40, great. To isolate y, we're going to divide both sides by 4. Okay, and y is equal to 10. Perfect. So y was our pencils. We know how many pencils there are. I can use elimination again But I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be really simple if we just take the y value and plug it into equation 1. Equation 1 is a relatively simple equation. So we did elimination for the first value. I'm going to use substitution for the second one. Okay? So back to equation 1. Remember it was x plus y is equal to 30. Well, since, we got a space here, since y is equal to 10, I'm going to replace y with the number 10. Okay? So we have x plus 10 is equal to 30. Now we have one variable, so we can isolate for it. We're going to bring 10 to the other side. Okay? So it becomes negative 10 over there. And you get y is equal to 20. Sorry, not y. X is equal to 20. Does that make sense? 20 plus 10, 30 items. Okay? I'm going to do some quick mental math now to see if it also makes sense. 20 times 5 is $100. 10 times 1 is $10. $110 together is $110. Checks out. Okay, so that's our kind of our check to make sure it works.